Alright, looks like we are live. Alright, before I officially start the stream, I'm going to actually be making a video. It's actually be the introduction of this stream, kind of my viewpoints on Xiao, since I pulled him, and kind of how I got him. So with that, again, Twitch, thanks for joining, everyone, thanks for joining, and let's go ahead and get the video started now for my YouTube channel. Hello YouTube, Siegfried True Lane here with a Genshin Impact gameplay video, and today we are going to be talking about the main man, Xiao. So, before I kind of get into Xiao, I'm going to kind of talk about how I got Xiao, and hopefully my video will continue to work, but it doesn't look like it will. My video fall out. 1 second, are we having technical issues with my video? Seem to be having technical issues with the video at the moment. I see it working here. It's not being picked up in here for some reason. Let's see. Where is it? Huh. That's still there. Let's see. Let's restart it real quick. Let me restart my video and see if that fixes it real quick. Just give me a quick second. I don't know if the video was showing or not, but I know that on my side it was not showing. We might not be doing video if this keeps happening. Second, load up. Alright. Of course, I got something else loading up that's going to be taking all the time, so I clicked the wrong button. Program. Alright, let's go ahead and go here. Let's go back. Let's go to here. That's it. Done. Okay. For some reason, the video seems to be lagging. I'm not sure what's going on here with the video. You. Unview, but the wrong program. Close. Okay, we seem to be back to normal. I may or may not cut out a video. I had to kind of somewhat. All right. Okay. Apologies there. Let's get to the video. So, Xiao. This was the first featured 5-star character that I actually did not get on the 5-star guarantee. Which I had a feeling that was going to happen because Xiao was one I did want, and I just I got an Albedo on the guarantee 5-star. I got Zhongli 5 times on the guarantee 5-star, and I got Venti 3 times on the guarantee 5-star. So before Xiao, I was 9 out of 9 on the guarantees. So Xiao kind of broke that record. So, kind of sucked. I had to go. I mean, luckily I had stopped at 70 on the Ganyu banner because I didn't really want Ganyu, and I knew that because I wanted Xiao, there's a chance that Xiao would decide he's not going to drop on that guarantee. And it was even made worse by the 2-week banner. So, but luckily, we had the stimulus check come in. And I had stopped heavy short, so I took $50, got the 2 multis, pulled Jean actually, which I'm not too upset about Jean. The two 5-stars I would have been happy with if I didn't get Xiao would have been Jean or Chi-Chi. It's hard to determine which one I want more. I want both actually, But having the double healer, having a healer, this is my first real actual healer other than what's her name? I'll never use Barbara. So I was actually pretty happy. You know, I am pretty happy to have Jean. She does work on the team well, giving a heal to Xiao, which is nice. I got her on the 76th pull. So, funny thing is, that happened, and then I used another $50, got another 2 pulls. Actually had saved some as well. Funny thing, went through the polls, and okay, well, I'm at 60. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm at 60 because, you know, again, with those, really with those 2 polls, with the 250s, it was about 5 multis, get me the reset, and then I also saved up about a multi and a half. So I actually was around 72, I think, or 74, and I bought another $50. I bought another $50 worth, and I pulled him on the second single because I did 2 singles first. I was gonna do singles to 80, and I pulled him on the second single, which was hilarious. So I got him. Xiao's great, and so I got Xiao finally. Next was to go for his 5-star weapon. So I did use $100, and my weapon luck is the same. I pulled the Primordial Jade Cutter, of course, at the around the 70th pull, and then the exact next multi I pulled another 5-star Primordial Jade Cutter again. So my luck with the weapons is still the same. I seem to just pull the swords or pull the weapon I'm not really going for. So I was a little bummed out about that until I realized that my Vortex Vanquisher can be really good on Xiao. Anyways, that's kind of just my history on it. And luckily, I did find out that this weapon is really good on Kachink, and she is one of my main characters, so I'm actually not too upset now. So let's go and talk about Xiao. I don't think Xiao is... I definitely think Xiao is overhyped a lot. I don't think he's as godly as people are trying to make him out to be. He's not bad at all. He's not bad at... I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think this guy is bad at all. He's a lot of fun. I'm gonna go turn... Guys, I'm gonna turn my camera off. My camera's just glitching up. Turn it off. He's a lot of fun. He's an amazing character. I absolutely love Xiao. But, at the same time, I feel like people kind of treated Xiao as though he was a one-man army. And that's not really what Xiao is. And I feel like Xiao is probably the first character that has to have a team actually built around him. What I mean by that is, if you look at all your other main DPS, Kachink, she can fit in any DPS team, really. Dialect can fit in any DPS team that he wants to. Chongyun, Razor, these guys can fit in any DPS team they want. Official. Any DPS team they want, they can fit into. Xiao requires certain things for his team. One is definitely a healer. Xiao most definitely requires a healer, and until actually I got Jean, the only time I ever ran a healer was Fiona. That was more for her shield, not for her healing capability. I ran her for the shields. Then I got Zhongli, so Zhongli became my main shielder. Because Zhongli's shields are gonna be like, okay, this guy's amazing. Not to mention, I mean, look at that. And in one more level, once Zhongli gets this last constellation, I will actually be throwing Jean out and putting Venti back in. Jean is only in there temporarily until we get his last constellation. But if you look at his sounds, look at that, dude. Look at that shield. His shield's 25.6% of his max HP. Look at his max HP. His shield's for 10,000. Plus an extra, you know, what, 3,100? So his shield's over 13,000, you know, 13,000 HP strong. So ever since I've had, you know, Zhongli, I've really had no reason to run any other character, you know. It's just like, that's who I ran. as my shielder. So I've actually not run a healer. Xiao is the first time I've actually had to have a healer in my class, in my team. And being as there's really only 4 healers in the game, well 5 healers in the game if you count Bennett really, but Diona, who is one of your more dedicated healers, Barbara, who is a dedicated healer, Chi-Chi, and then Jean, I do think that puts Xiao at more of a disadvantage, number 1 there. Xiao's playstyle for maximum efficiency and DPS, honestly, isn't that fun. I don't like his playstyle for maximum efficiency because it's just jump, attack, jump, attack, jump, attack. And that's not that fun. It's not that fun to just do the same thing over and over again. That's what you're doing, because that's how you get the maximum damage. It's crazy damage, don't get me wrong. I mean, like 17k, 20k, it's crazy damage. But it's honestly not that fun to be doing that. I really like his melee combos, and but again, that leads me to another problem where if you're going to play Xiao, you also are going to need you need a support. You didn't really need support for the other characters. I don't need support on Kachink. Kachink just does the job. So let me go give you an example. Like, let me go find something here. We'll actually test Kachink with the new weapon, even though it's very low, to see just how low her damage is comparatively to him with his 5-star level 90 weapon. So let's go see if we can find somebody. Anytime I want to find anything, I can't find it. Come on. Sometimes I feel like enemies are just a pain in the butt to find. Whenever I want to find enemies, I just can't. Ah, there we go. Good. Enemies are right here. So we're going to throw in... Actually, let's switch parties real quick. So I actually have the party with Kachink in it. Now, Kachink's weapon is only level 20, so her weapon is not nearly going to be powerful enough to do any damage. So it is going to be lower than Xiao's at the moment. The question is how much lower then? Because, you know, like, of course, with Xiao, I'm just, like... That's not very much damage, actually. I mean, like, he's getting about a K when you look at it comparatively. Total attacks. He sometimes gets, I think, a 3k, and he gets a 3k crit sometimes. Then, of course, like, he has a lot of attack with that. Although, I really like Xiao's combo. Again, this is with a level 90 spear, and I mean, it's just because his ability requires me to activate his ultimate, which actually, you know, it wouldn't be so bad if it didn't decrease the HP, but decreases the HP. Now we'll use Kachink. Let's see what her damage difference is. Again, her weapon is way lower, but she'll probably still hit pretty hard. Okay, so she's hitting for like 1k. So she's hitting for almost 1k with a level 20 weapon. Once her weapon goes up higher, she's going to be hitting a lot harder. Because again, she has a level 5-star weapon, but it's just not level 5. So, I feel like for overall DPS, Xiao is not as competent as people are making him out to be. Because you have to actually activate his ultimate to really get the DPS out. While with Qing, I don't have to do that. And with Dialog, I don't have to do that. I can simply get it done, you know? With their old, with their you know, their, or not their, sorry, their, elements. So, I definitely feel like Kachink is still personally one of the best DPSers in the game, even though they ranked her A on the tier list, and I don't know why. I definitely feel like Kachink, for a DPS unit, is one of the best. And I definitely feel like Xiao was overhyped. But, with that said, Xiao's abilities are up. I mean, Xiao's amazing. I do like Xiao a lot. I think he's a great character. He can do some serious damage when you're doing the jump attack technique, but then again, at the same time, for me, that's personally not that much fun. Like, we'll see right here how much it does. It does a lot. And again, he's not max level, so once he's max level, it's, you know, we'll probably be doing a lot more, so you know, a higher crit rate. So I mean, like, that's 17 carry damage. Like, when it crits, it crits pretty hard. But this playstyle, honestly, isn't that fun to me. And you just don't do enough, just doesn't do as much damage this way. So like, for example, I'll go like build them up. We'll, you know, that was doing between 7k to 17k on crits, which is amazing. I mean, that's a lot of damage. It's really nice. Now, Xiao also does attack pretty fast, so, you know, maybe his numbers are higher and I just don't work that way. Let's go ahead and switch to Jean. My healing. Heal Xiao. There you go. Now I'm conflicted on Jean as well. Like, should I run her for actual damage, or should I run her energy? You know, to get her energy up. Like, that's one thing I'm confused on. But okay, let's see. Let's go find a set of enemies. Now again, I've only had Xiao for a couple days, so I'm still experimenting with him. There might be things I don't know, but even in the end, I mean, like, I feel like on a lot of the content, they made Xiao sound like he was just going to be this god character. And in my opinion, Zhongli is still was by far better when he first came out, and with his buffs is, you know, of course, even better. I mean, like, there's no debate. Zhongli is the best character in the game at this point in time. Like, nobody has surpassed him at this point. Okay, this stuff. I'm gonna find another set of enemies. Look at that. I never find enemies when I want to find them. I want to kind of find the same type. Oh well. Oh well, we're... Anyways. I do enjoy Xiao. I think he's a lot of fun. I really love his animation. I think when it comes to his, like, how strong he is, yeah, he can be really strong, but I don't think he's that fun that way. That definitely is most, you know, the most effective way to use him, I don't feel, is the funnest way to use him. But he is still quite a bit of fun, and I really do like him. Oh, there's an enemy there. No, that's not okay, that's just some guy probably. But I do really like him. Definitely glad I went for him. Definitely, this is my team members. Okay, here we go. Let's see how much. Like, so it's, I mean, it crits, but doesn't crit for nearly as much damage as it jumps to. So, definitely not as good. Especially when going against bigger enemies. But, they also need to really, I mean, I don't know, I want to... I really hate the energy drain on him. I really hate that a lot, actually. I will say I do like his E. I love his dash. That's so bad. There we go. Heals off. And Jean definitely makes it a lot easier to handle him. Oh, of course, then we get this right here. Look at this. We get all that pulsing damage going off. Look, dude, the geo damage is insane now. Like, look at that. I mean, like... I don't have to try anymore. Yeah, you just do the damage for me, will you? Move this way. There we go. Dude, did you say 20 crit? That was a 20k crit hit. Oh my goodness. That's what I mean, dude. Like, this is... Zhongli, especially when he makes Albedo into the mix, is just very deadly too. Oh my goodness, dude. Like, Geo is a god now. So anyways, full opinions on Xiao. He's a good character. He's definitely a lot of fun. Definitely one of the funnest characters to play. But I personally feel like he is definitely not one of the best free-to-play characters, as you have to more build a team around him, other than just being able to thrust him in any team like Dailuk and Kachink can be done. But he's a good character. I'm not saying he's not free-to-play friendly. I'm saying he's less free-to-play friendly due to the fact that you actually set up a team for him. And while we do get a free healer from Barbara, she actually can be a problem because she gets you wet and you can be frozen. So that kind of is an issue there for me personally with her, and I just don't like Barbara. With that said, guys, I will be uploading the stream to YouTube as well. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed the content. I hope you guys, if you look for Xiao, I hope you pulled him. I really do. Xiao is a lot of fun. If you didn't go for Xiao and you're waiting, I hope that you get the unit you want to go for next. I definitely know that the next unit I will be summoning for is either going to be Zhongli when his dupe comes back, or Daneslave, I think, when he comes, because I definitely want him. I won't be summoning on any other banners. I will be summoning on the weapons banner because that spear, if I don't get the winged jagged spear, the HP spear is definitely going to be awesome on Zhongli. And we'll be going to Zhongli because, like, that's his spear. Let me say, what is the actual other spear? What's the subset on that spear, I wonder? Is it crit rate like the sword? Let's crit rate like the sword, that'd be great. So let's see, I'm gonna check into that real quick. If my crap loads up. Alright, well that's looks like. Anyways, guys, Sick for Tree Lane here, signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Alright, now with that done, let's go ahead and move to our mainstream. What is this sword spang? Crit damage. Oh. That's going to be really good. Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's a little different from... Slightly different from, the sword. I wonder if they're going to adjust that to be like the sword. Anyways, not bad, not bad. Alright, let's go ahead and get the chat up. And let's go ahead and go fight this guy right here. Let's just touch body real quick. Where'd you go? You thought you were gonna disappear, didn't you? Gosh, I love, like, I really do like Xiao. He's, just because I don't think he's as good as people have said he is, does not mean I don't like him. I really like this character. I mean, characters have to be, like, broken to be enjoyable. And I definitely feel like, I mean, Xiao is definitely good at what he needs to do. But most importantly, he's fun. That's what, for me, was important. Let's go through it real quick. There we go. He's, okay. And he is strong. I mean, like, he's a lot of fun. But dude, man, those Geo buffs are insane. By the way, anybody, if you're watching streams, man, if you would like to add me as a friend, my UID is at the bottom. Feel free to add me. I do like to play with people, but I do have my personality, guys, just so you know, if you do decide you want to, you know, you would like to do some stuff together and whatnot, is that pretty much I don't want to carry people. You know, you got to do your work. You got to get yourself improved. I don't want to be having to, you know, oh, I don't want to do this, so I'm just going to wait. Oh, I don't want to do this, so I'm just going to wait. I had somebody like that and ended up wanting me to carry everything for him. So every day he was messaging me to go kill his bosses for him, which I like to play with people, guys, but I can't do that every day. You know, I work full time. Now I'm back down from 6 days a week, which is nice. I have more time, but I cannot work. You know, I can't go in there and, you know, just always, you know, my stuff has to come first, especially during events. I don't want to help people clear their events. Not because I'm a jerk, but because, you know, like, some of those events aren't all that fun to kill. But if you're looking for someone to, you know, just have someone to play with, and, you know, I don't mind helping out I don't mind helping out when you need help. I just mind helping out when you don't want to do the work for it. And I'm sure most of you guys know how that feels. Alright. And of course, I've had a hard time streaming because of my work, but now that is over. Holy cow. Oh, there's a solution. Okay, so that isn't even damaging their case yet. Move her break. Oh, yes. So there's pretty much not much I can do right now. I'm waiting, I guess, honestly, to get 20 resin to go do some, to go do a ley line. Hopefully that, probably won't get me to a level, honestly, but if it can help, that'd be nice. You. Petrify then. Oh my goodness, dude. Just like, look at this damage it gets done. Get out of here, you. Get in the water. Yes, you drown. Dude, that's funny as crap, man. Like, no one in this game can swim but you. Ooh, what does this lead to? Pretty sure I did it before. Actually, I can actually check see if that. Ooh, wait. Fish. We need fish. I will say that though, until they honestly truly fix the resin problem. Okay, there's going to be. I mean, like, this game is going to have too much dead time. I mean. I would prefer, honestly, I would much prefer them locking the world bosses to once a day, but not requiring the resin, you know, or at least making the boss's resin, you know, less of a requirement. What am I doing this? Like, just look at these bursts, man. I love Albedo, man. Best thing about Albedo, by the way, his best weapon was free. Like, seriously. And I don't know if I uploaded my Albedo video or not, but I did do a comparison between this weapon and this weapon. Dude, this weapon is so much better. That 32% increased skill damage is so much better than the 46.9% crit. It just is. And running full defense, he just does so much more damage in a full defensive build. Like, as you can see, every piece, except for this right here, runs double defense. Like, he is just so much. I mean, even before the buffs, I was doing almost 10k in my when it ever crit. Now, it can crit more when you have the 3-star sword, but the thing was that the damage when it didn't crit was so much lower that there was just no reason to even, like, it was just, I would rather, for me, I'm about reliable damage. In Final Fantasy XIV, I do stack crit, but that's because that crit increases crit rate and crit damage. In this one, when it doesn't increase both, I mean, like, I usually focus on, you know, I want something a little more reliable for damage. 10k, 6.2k, 7.2k. Man, I just love that damage. There we go. Oh, you're dead now. Just, like, this is crazy. And, like, again. So, oh yeah. Let's talk about my teams real quick, guys. So, here's my... I have 4 different team builds. I'm going to go over their names as well. First, we have my Slayers team. This is... I'm going to be changing the name of this team soon, but this is an Earth-Wind team. This is also my main team for adventuring with. Mostly because I'm going to get increased movement speed, reduce my movement speed by 10%, decreased stamina consumption by 15%, and then their cooldown by 15% reduction. This allows me to move a lot faster, so that's very nice. But this is my main team I use. I gotta come up with a better name for them. Actually, I know what I'm gonna use. Here we go, Kazejin. Oh. Actually, I wonder. 1 second. Can we do this? Will it work? Huh? There it is. Alright. There we go. Kazejin. Phoenix. Phoenix is gonna stay in there. Raijin. Oops. Why change the names? There we go. Oops. Raijin. There we go. That's right, okay. That means I made a mistake here. Kaze. Made that wind people. We want to make it this one. There we go. And then I keep pressing the wrong button. Let's see, Borealis. Let's see. Okay, and what is the ice one? Suijin is water. Kazejin is wind. Like I know that the word, like Kori is ice, but that's more like ice cube. So, like, I'm not sure what. Kura Okami. Okami. And I'm going to keep that Borealis. We're going to keep this one Borealis. Anyways, mostly because there's not really a name for them. Anyways, okay, so here's our first team, Kazejin. As you can see, double wind, double earth. The earth buff right now, guys, is too good. I mean, 15% shield strength. You get, 15% damage increased, and dealing damage to enemies decreases their G resistance. For my setup, this is extremely important because of Albedo. So in this team, we pretty much rely on the fast movement speed, reduction in cooldowns, and then just the earth ticks, as well as, the Xiao's main DPS. Jean is there for healing. I don't know if Venti's actually going to be very useful when she sucks people up. Is that going to make it to where Xiao actually can't hit them or hurt them? We'll find out. Next, we have the Phoenix team, which is, again, the exact same build, except we're switching out our secondary wind for a fire character. This is to give us some good moves to kind of help with the swirl reaction, as well as just an extra heavy DPS hitter when we're dealing with ice enemies. Next we have Raijin, which is our lightning team. By the way, Kazejin and Raijin, the kanji there, the first kanji means wind, the second kanji means god, the first kanji means storm, really, or thunder, but it's more storm, and the second kanji means god. But this is again, as you can see, just like with Phoenix, we have Chink for the lightning damage. I won't be using this team until I have her sword finished and she has a good clock. Mostly because I think that's the only piece that's lost on her. But once she has a good clock to replace the 4-star she's using, and her sword is finished, this team will probably be one of the main teams I run. I really like Kachink, and with her new 5-star sword, we're going to talk about 5-star weapon here, and then, you know, 4 is best in slot weapon. And then hopefully when the Staff of Homa comes, I get the Staff of Homa for Zhongli, in which he'll have a 5-star weapon that's just going to be tearing it up. And then of course we have Borealis. Again, he has a 5-star weapon, best in slot. This team is going to be more about buffing up Xiao's movement speed so he attacks faster. So this is about increasing Xiao's movement speed to attack faster. This is to give us more of a stable DPS, and then Xiao for burst DPS. This is about just having that heavy DPS for shields, and more for the swirl interaction. And then this is more for quicker movement speed and adventuring. So these are my different team setups I have. As you can see, though, Zhongli and Albedo are in every team. I was not that hyped for Albedo at first. God, I love him. I'm so glad I went for him. I'm so glad I got Albedo. Albedo and Zhongli are by far my two. Okay, so Zhongli is my favorite. Albedo's the second. Xiao's my third. Mostly because without Albedo and Zhongli, my damage would not be nearly as high as it is now. And they're... what can I say? So that is my current team setup. I mean, we got a really good shielder, and then we got, you know, just multiple DPS. There's not much more you can ask for. Let's go and get this out of the way. And shields up. You there. And we gonna deal with this. There we go. Look at that. No problem at all. Now, I don't usually set up all that full DPS, to be honest, for most runs, because it's not necessary. Here it might be a little, but here is definitely going to be helpful. Alright, we want to put this here for sure. Get you there. There we go, get that going. Just petrify everybody real quick. There we go. Let's go switch to a reviews. Oh, whoa. And the big guy's dead without me even noticing. There we go. Where is the guy? Okay, he's over here. Yeah, no. Dude, just like, look at that damage, dude. Now, the best area to test this out actually is the Island of Robots, or the Island of Mechas, or whatever you want to call it. Still kind of a challenge, to be honest. I mean, well, it's not if I do it, you know, if I do the Zhongli technique. The Zhongli technique is pretty much just keeps everything dead and not movement. So let's go and head over to there and handle that area. Let's save. How close are I to 20? Ugh. 6 resin away. That wouldn't be such an issue if resin recharged faster. Like, the 8 minutes per resin is ridiculous. If resin was 1 minute a pop, that means it would take almost 3 hours, by the way. At 1 minute for one resin would take almost 3 hours. It would take 2 hours and 40 minutes to get all your resin back. Which means at 2 minutes, you're looking at 5 hours and 20 minutes. And at 3 minutes of resin, which I think would, you know, 3 resin would be, let's see, what would that be? 160 times 3 equals 300 plus, it's 480. So 480 would be 8 hours. It would take, if it was at 3 minutes, it would be 8 hours to fully redo your resin. 8 hours. At 4 minutes, and so if they cut the time in half for resin, at 4 minutes, we'd be looking at 160 times 4 is 400, plus 20, 240, 640. 640 will become 64. So 660, 64. So it goes 36, 42, 48, 64. Let me just stop doing this hard and pull my calendar, my calculator. So 160 times 4 divided by 60. So yeah, okay, so we'd be looking at 4 minutes a pop, it would take around 10.6 hours. So around a little more than 10.5 hours, probably 10 hours and 40 minutes to fully recharge your resin. At 8 hours, to fully recharge your resin takes almost a full day. So, I get, everyone keeps saying, well, they have laws in China which have resin. Okay, I get that. But, it does not mean that this much content has to be tied to resin. And that's one thing that people keep forgetting when they make that defense. Oh, well, Chinese law. Okay, look, I know plenty of games that have a resin system, and obviously they have the, you know, the little resin things you can get, which means that resin is not a big issue because they have to really recharge your resin with those items you can buy. Go ahead and put that back down now. You down. There you go. It's like, this is one thing I don't like about Xiao, is because of his ultimate, I'm like really shy on wanting to use it just by how it works. I wish his ultimate again did not drain MP. I wish it didn't. I mean, all honesty, it would have been better if his ultimate, you know, just actually, you know, instead like drain the ultimate gauge over a certain amount of time, and just had that happen. You know, it's like, I don't know why they decided to make it drain. The draining HP, I just think is dumb. I hate whenever a game purposely gives a character a default into their system. Draining his HP is a default. Anyways, about the resin system, yeah, there's if they have the fragile resins and they make it to where you can restore your resin, that means that the whole resin law in China is kind of a bullshit excuse. I'm sorry. It's a bullshit excuse when it's like, oh, you have this limited resin, but oh, you can recharge it this many times. And not to mention, the recharge is fucking expensive. Okay, I'm sorry. We're not talking about a simple, short, easy recharge. We're talking about the first time it's 50, it was great, but then it's 100, and I think it's like 100, 100, and 200. It's $10 worth of recharging. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So the whole idea that, oh, well, they have to have a resin because China, people got to stop making that excuse. People got to look at it realistically. Okay, if the realistic is it's a law in China, then they wouldn't even have it possible to recharge your resin. And again, you know, there's a difference between removing resin altogether and adjusting the game to where the resin system works differently. What most people want is a resin system that works differently. We want a resin system where, you know, we understand it's got to be there for certain things, but it doesn't need to be there for everything. So again, why does the Wolf, Storm Terror, and Childs require resin? That in of itself is ridiculous. Those three should not require resin at all. They're a weekly boss. No excuse for that. And again, MiHoYo, at any point, this is what people have to remember. At any point, they could come in and say, you know what? We're removing this requirement. No longer does it require you to have resin to run it. They could do that. So it's not like they're, oh, well, we designed it this way, our hands are tied. I do expect at some point for them to adjust that. I do not think it's going to be like that forever, because that is going to cause, I mean, the biggest complaints on this game, I'm going to say the biggest valid complaint on this game is the resin system. because it's an actual system that, you know, isn't based off luck to how it affects your gameplay. It literally affects the gameplay in a negative way, regardless of how much money you spend or how lucky you are. I mean, I love that. You know, take some damage from that. And that's the reality of it. Like, even if you're, like, if you have to spend $10 a day to restore your resin, that's $10 you can't spend on your summon. That's almost, you know, that's a couple summons, you know? And $10 is not a small amount. Like, it'd be different if it was like, okay, it's about $1 worth. I think if it was $1 worth, I mean, nobody would care, but whatever, it's $1, I can't do that. But, yeah, I think it's what people forget, like, you know, people talk about, like, this game being like a gambling game, you know, comparing it to gambling. The difference is gambling costs a lot cheaper for one thing. For example, scratch it's, what, $2 to $5? It's, you don't go and pay $100 for a lottery ticket. This game, that's what you're, like, when you look at just the rate and how much money you're spending, it's a lot. And, like, there's, so, you know, with as much as they charge for the resin system, as much as they charge for as much as they charge for the Primo Gem, there is zero excuse for the resin system to be how it is. Now, well, that's just as new. Now, I will say, you know, it is useful. We're gonna get any Primo Gems from it? No. It is useful that they are giving fragile resin on the battle passes, but the whole system could be easily fixed, and that is simply by saying, hey, you know what? The weekly bosses no longer require resin. World bosses no longer require resin. The only things that require resin is artifact runs and ley lines. That's a legitimately fair setup there. They have their resin system to help, you know, control levels, to help control the resin. And then, of course, they just make the world bosses daily. You kill the world boss, it doesn't reset. Or just get on a reset time of like 12 hours. You kill the boss once, it doesn't reset for 12 hours. I'm personally not a fan. I'm just seriously not a fan of the system that they have. Because the system they have, it takes a full day to get your resin back. And then you're stuck going, oh, okay, what do I spend my resin on? That's just not a good system. Alright, let's see. I mean, it's just not a good system. And most games don't follow that system. I mean, let's take a look at a couple. Dokkan. Dokkan has an energy system. And you need it for running story events, you need it running for quests, and you're running it for running the Dokkan events. You don't, however, need to use it to run the legendary battle mode, or the boss rush mode, time trial mode, super battle road, the battle road. You only need your energy system, which is pretty much the red system, when running content where you're getting pretty much the medals to awaken units. It's not required for anything else. So there's plenty of things you can do in Dokkan that don't require resin. In fact, the challenging things, the actual challenges in that game don't require energy. The challenges are actually the things that you actually want to say, okay, I got this, let's see if I can conquer this. Doesn't require any form of energy. And it's actually really nice about Dokkan is I can play Dokkan and then go into those events and run those events, you know. Dragon Ball Legends. Yeah, their events require energy. All of their events require energy, but their you have the PvP mode and the co-op mode. Neither the PvP nor the co-op mode require energy, and you could run PvP in that game all day. And the thing about that game with PvP is that that's its main aspect. The co-op mode is not the main aspect. The single player mode is not the main focus of that game. So their actual main focus is actually, you know, you can play it as long as you want. Now, it is broken. They need to fix a lot of the crap that's going on in it. But it doesn't change the fact that it is still, you know, free to, you know, you can still play it as long as you want. Oh, good, more enemies. I don't want enemies. Again, trying to find people to kill. Genshin Impact. I don't know, yeah. Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins. I mean, like, all of their events do require stamina, but they also have a stamina shop where you can buy stamina with, you know, platinum with what do they call it? With the silver coins, which you get you're always gonna get a lot of it. Anytime you summon, you're gonna most likely get silver coins because those are the lowest rarity, and you can at least get a free summon every day. I have over 90 stamina potions in 7 Deadly Sins. 90, and each stamina potion fully restores your stamina in that game. If Fragile Resins fully restored your stamina in the game, that would really help too. That would go a long way. The fact that they don't is ridiculous. Because again, you burn through it so fast. Whoa. He's already dead? Shit, damn. What else? Yeah, it's like, I see that it's honestly some of the best gacha games are games where you can actually sit down and enjoy the game as long as you want. And they all have an energy system, but they utilize it in a way that it doesn't ruin the game. And I feel Genshin Impact. And again, anyone's gonna sit there and defend the system. I mean, you're not thinking logically, okay? You're using, first of all, something that I guarantee most people are not 100% notified of, and are more, you know, going by word of mouth, which means that it could have just been some bullshit somebody else made. But in the end, even if that's the case, there are still solutions to it, where you don't have to create so much, you know, so much content that is highly reliant on the resin system. And again, that's being seen now when they're releasing more content that actually doesn't, you know, events that don't require the resin system. That just in itself shows you that it was something they could have done, but they chose not to. Which, you know, I'm glad they're not doing it now, but it doesn't make it realize something problem, you know, that they have still have problems. They still have controversy. So, I do think that this game is going to survive. They need to adjust that system. If they continue keeping this system that they have now, it's not going to work. It's just not. Because people are going to get tired of... I mean, when people run out of content, they stop playing games. And my biggest issue with the game at the moment is that I just come to times where I'm just dead. Like right now, I'm just simply running around, wasting time to get my resin back. So, hope they fix it. Oh. I think my controller just died on me. Oh, it's disconnected. It's weird. Okay. That's weird. My controller's really acting up right now. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's really acting up. It's like it's got a latency split. Alright, let's see. I will say though, the controller support on mobile is amazing. I love that. The fact that they finally made this game playable with controller on your iPhone, I mean, it actually gives me a reason to really buy a dedicated controller for my phone. Right now, I just use my PS4 controller. I have a little piece that I can hook to it, and then my phone, you know, my phone just connects to my controller. This little plastic piece. I actually got an accident. I thought it was something else, but it is, you know, still quite useful, and I do like it. I am enjoying it. All right. Where are we? Are we at 12 or 11? Yes, I still need I seem to need 4 levels before I get the resin. And not until 21 will I start getting actual good amounts of XP. So I'm hoping my next 5-star on the base banner is Chi-Chi. That's my goal. I'm actually only missing 2 of them at the point in time. That's Chi-Chi and Mona. Really don't want Mona. Or, I mean, like, if I don't pull the spear, getting the spear would be really nice too. The Jade and Wing Spear. Fun thing is actually already cleared the ley line, so it's gonna go pick them up. Another thing that actually makes this game a lot more, enjoyable to play is that they made kills more rewarding. That's, we all talk about the resin system, but one thing that could actually fix the game without ever touching the resin system would be to make kills more rewarding. And what I mean by that is, look at how much XP I need for Xiao. I need a total of 131,000. I have 65.8 thousand, okay? So, let's just say that I got about 100 XP. Let's say I got 1,000 XP per kill. I would need 100 kills to go up to another level. It's kind of a crazy amount when you think about that. But, it's still about, 1.3, 1,300 is 1%. That means that 130 is 0.1% and 13 is 0.01%. In other words, you go from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000. This right here, watch this. Watch how much XP I get off these guys. 19. Which means I need 100,000 random kills to even be able to level up on Xiao at this point. I mean, yeah, it goes to all 4 characters, but if you have a max character, it doesn't, like, increase it for you. Shield up. Go behind the pillar. I do like how the pillar can, we can get hit. Oh, that's right. It doesn't drop it. It doesn't drop when it's done, so you're that was just 58. Okay, so 58 means that I would need a total of 2,000 of those big guys. So, that's the other thing. It's like going around killing random mobs or going and killing those bosses, or those bigger enemies, they're not worth it. Like, that boss should be giving me 5,000 a kill. That would mean that I would need, I would still need around 100, but, I mean, it'd be more rewarding. And the bosses, the XP you get from bosses does not change based off your world level. Nor does really your loot that much. If you look at my world level, I'm world level 8. It's just like, it's not worth it. Plus the now 232,000. It's really, really frustrating for me. Because it's like, there's no point in going around and killing random mobs. And due to how long it takes to farm the other mats, you usually have enough of the mats they drop anyways. So, the mobs literally serve no purpose in this game. And again, that's something that could be fixed. You make the mobs drop a lot more XP, make them drop gold, or Mora, make the big guys drop artifacts, level 4 artifacts. Hell, even have them have a chance to drop level 5 artifacts. Then the game is, okay, so we get 3 of these. And then the game is just way more enjoyable and way more worth it. So, there are so many fixes. Actually, give me every level now? No, okay. Okay, it's working. Like, there is so many adjustments they can make to help balance the resin system, and it's different. Disappointing because they really don't try. They're really not trying to. Every time they talk about the resin, they don't hit the main point of the resin. Like, the first thing was, oh, well, we're going to make it to where you can get more resin. You can stock up more resin. Okay, that's great, but it doesn't solve the problem. Step 2 is, well, the new events are not going to require resin. That's great. But those are just events, just timed events. They're not actual part of the game that's always here. Doesn't fully solve the problem. Then the second one, of course, oh, we're going to start dropping, fragile resins in your battle passes. It's great, very useful, but once again, does not solve the problem. Another solution would be to give resin as a daily login. You log in, you get resin. Or, or honestly, I don't think they should make a resin pass, but I think that they should add that too, without increasing the price. Blessings of the Welcome Moon should give Primo Gems and resin. They just should. I'm sorry. Sorry. But like this right here, like, look at this stuff. The books, those are the weapon pieces. These are just like a rip-off, like seriously. 680 Primo, because that 120 isn't too bad. But the 600 Primo Gems, I mean, like... That's... almost 10, that's over $10. This right here, like, they could totally offer the fragile resins in this shop here. Better yet, here, a limited amount a month, but they could offer here. So, why they don't is beyond me. And the big issue too is like this event wasn't really fun. I mean, it definitely would have been better. Like I'm a little upset that they didn't release enough events, honestly, in my opinion, to make it manageable. Anyways, guys, I'm probably out there. I'm getting pretty exhausted. It's been a long day. I will be streaming tomorrow. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Siegfried Lane signing out. You all have a great day. I'll see you later.